Hi guys, we are the group 8 and we're going to discuss the email, messages, and memo. So first, let's define what email is. So according to tech terms, it is short for electronic mail and it is one of the most widely used features of the internet along with the web, and it allows you to send and receive messages to and from anyone with an email address around the world. And email, it is a message distributed by the electronic, and it means one computer user to one or more recipients by a network. And second is a message, a verbal or written or a recorded communication that's sent or left for our recipients who cannot contacted directly. And lastly, for memo, memo is a written message, especially in business, and usually brief written message or a report. The coming of the internet era ushered in the new technologies that made the communication in the workplace more effective and efficient. And due to the advent of the so-called internet era and the invention, innovation, and discoveries, various technology have made people's lives more easier as well as a communication. And as a result of that, communication in the workplace of people become more productive, effective, and efficient. And as of example of a digital technology is the email or mail that is revolutionized how we send and receive message. And according to Goofy 2018, the communication of a channel of a choice is for exchanging information within the organization. That is to say that as a communicator, you can use different types of communication channels so that you can properly deliver the message you want to convey, as well as for the various informations. There are 3 stages in writing an email, message, and memo, according to Goofy 2018. And the purpose of these stages is to teach us how do we write an email, message, and memo. Number 1 stage is to analyze anticipation and adoption. So in writing a message, you have to analyze first the content of your message. What is the purpose of your message? And it will be better if your message is a bias-free so that you can avoid conflicts. Number 2 is research, organization, and composition. And in this stage, you're already composing your message. And as a writer, it will be better if you search some of information or facts that can support your message and your claim. Third stage is revision, proofreading, and evaluation. So in writing a message, there are things or there are information that are not needed in your message. So the purpose of revision is to edit, clarify, and correct some of the information in your message. So that's all for the introduction of email, message, and memo, and for the brief introduction of the 3 stages in writing. But for more discussion about the stages, for the more information, it will be discussed by the another reporter, which is Mr. Michael N. Pasqua. So thank you for listening, and let's proceed to the another reporter.
Good day to everyone. Today's topic is all about stages of writing an email, message, or memo. First question, how do you write email, message, and memos? According to Goofy 2008, there are 3 stages of how do you write an email, message, and memos. The first one is the analysis, anticipation, and adaptation. The second one is the research, organization, and composition. The third one is the revision, proofreading, and evaluation. So in the first stage, which is the analysis, anticipation, and adaptation, which is equivalent to the more familiar term pre-writing, When we say pre-writing kasi, pre-writing is the first stage of the writing process, which is followed by drafting, revision, editing, and publishing. And in this stage, you ask yourself the following questions. Do you really need to write the email, message, or memo? Or you should send your message as email, or should you simply say face-to-face? Then, what is the purpose of the message? How will the receiver of your email, message, or memo react? How can you save your reader's time? That it should be used bullets or ask the receiver to list the things you want to say. Those are the questions you consider, especially in the first stage of writing an email, message, and memo. In stage 2, which is the research, organization, and composition, you make an outline of your message or memo. When we say outline, it's a tool used to organize written ideas about a topic or thesis in chronological order. It's like a test paper, title, question, then the choices, and so on and so forth. And you list down the ideas you want to send. Remember that each idea or assertion or claim that you will write need a supporting details. In the third stage, which is the revision, proofreading, and evaluation, you revise your clarity and correctness and be ready for the feedback as the receiver receives your email, message, or memo. And when you revise the email or memo, always take the point of view of your prospective readers. Ask yourself, if I were the readers, would the message or memo be clear to me? Finally, do not forget to include in your email message a line or two asking to readers' feedback. And always remember that you can do 99 things for someone and all they remember is the one thing you didn't do. Thank you.
Everyone, Lady Linralio from Group 8. My topic is about sender line and receiver line. First, what is sender line? Sender line, this is where the name and email address of the sender is writing. Dito, someone na nagpapadala o nag-encode ng isang mensahe through a channel. For example, the person who put a letter in the mailbox. The person is the sender kasi nga siya yung nagpapadala o nag-encode ng letter through the mailbox. Second, what is receiver line? Receiver line, this is the name and the email address of the recipient of your message or memo is writing. Dito naman, someone na nakatanggap ng mensahe through the sender. For example, someone who received a telephone call. Lang po, thank you.
Hello class, I'm Charlene and I will discuss the date line and subject line of email, message, or memo. So first, what is date line? Date line, this is where the date, month, year, and time in written or a line in a written documents or printed publication giving the date and place of composition or issue. So I have here example of letters. This is an authorization letter. If you can see, makikita nyo yung date line is nasa kanan siya. And may space before the body. Po. So, this is the date line. So, what is the subject line? Subject line, this is where the subject of your email, message, or memo is written. The subject should not be a one-word heading and should contain a verb. For example, I authorize this person, Miss Ella Varias, to claim my maternity reimbursement, Mat 2. I am not able to do it myself. Ito siya. Nandito siya. After the date line, next is sa subject line. Ito po yung subject line. This is the example of subject line. That's all for now. Thank you and have a good day. Hello everyone, I'm Charlene and I will discuss the opening of email, message, or memo. So opening is for non-sensitive information you can be direct for. So I have here example, the letter of my authorization letter. So after my date line, nag-next po ako sa, kung nabanggit ko na po ito kanina sa subject line, ito na rin po yung pinaka-subject line ko, and ito na rin po yung pinaka-opening ko. So, ang opening ko is, I authorize this person, Miss Ira Varias, to claim my maternity reimbursement Mat 2. I am not able to do it myself. Ito na po yung pinaka-opening ko. Direct ko na po siyang sinabi yung nais ko pong iparating sa message ko. So, this is my example of opening. So, after the opening of message, the next is body. So, body, this is where the author of the email, message, or memo writes the reason for writing and explain the message thoroughly. So, example, I am not able to do it myself. Ito yung reason kung bakit ko sinulat yung letter or the authorization letter. I am not able to do it myself. So, to support my claim, I have appended to my identity cards respectively, and to serve as proof that I have the bearer of this letter to claim the maternity reimbursement on my behalf. So, ito po yung example ng body na message ko po para sa company namin. Para po, maklaim ko po yung Mat 2 ko. And lastly is closing. So this part, according to Buffet 2008, generally ends with letter A, action, information, dates, or deadline. Letter B, summary of the message, and or letter C, closing thought. So in my letter example, I have the closing thought. So thank you, and I am hoping for your smooth cooperation. This is my closing thought. This is the example of closing. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.